We often believe that by hiding ourselves, our dreams, our voice, our talent, we're somehow staying safe. That if we don't put ourselves out there, we won't be judged, criticized, or rejected. But the truth is, hiding doesn't protect us, it restricts us. It keeps us locked in a version of ourselves that's too small for the life we were meant to live. Every time you shrink back, every time you silence your voice, every time you delay stepping forward into the space that was made for you, you're not just avoiding pain, you're avoiding growth. And growth is not optional if you want to fulfill purpose. What we call safety is often a disguise for fear. We hide behind distractions, business, excuses, and even false humility. We say, I'm just not ready, or I'm still working on myself, when in reality we're afraid to be seen, afraid to be vulnerable, afraid to fail. But hiding only delays the inevitable truth. You were never made to live hidden. You were made to shine, to influence, to lead, to create. That urge inside of you, the thing that stirs in your gut when you see someone else doing what you dream of doing, that's not envy. That's a reminder of what's sleeping inside of you. Hiding dulls that feeling. Over time, you become numb to it, and eventually you forget what it felt like to believe in yourself at all. The world doesn't benefit from your silence. No one is helped by the gifts you don't use. When you hide your potential, you rob not just yourself, but everyone around you of what you were here to offer. There are people whose lives could be changed by your courage. There are dreams that will only be realized when you stop playing small. And yet, hiding convinces you that staying unseen is safer than risking your full expression. But what's the cost? You lose years. You lose opportunity. You lose the joy of knowing who you really are and what you can truly do. Living small may feel familiar, but it's not fulfilling. Eventually, it turns into frustration, resentment, even bitterness, not toward others, but toward yourself. Because deep down, you know you were made for more. You know you've been hiding. And every time you avoid stepping into your calling, that inner voice, the one that knows you're meant to be out there, gets a little quieter. The longer you stay hidden, the harder it is to remember what you're capable of. But the good news is this: the moment you decide to stop hiding, everything changes. Not because it gets easier, but because it gets clearer. Clarity brings strength, and strength brings movement. And movement brings the kind of freedom you can't buy, fake, or borrow. It only comes from doing the thing you were afraid to do. So hiding might feel like safety in the moment, but over time, it becomes a prison. The only way out is to choose visibility, choose boldness, choose to be seen fully. Right now, there's something deeply powerful about understanding that your gift, your unique ability, your voice, your way of seeing the world was never a coincidence. It wasn't random. It wasn't a mistake. It was placed in you with intention, with care, with purpose. And when something is given to you on purpose, it means it's your responsibility to carry it, nurture it, and release it into the world. Too often we treat our talents like side notes, as if they're optional, as if the world doesn't need them. We downplay them. We bury them. We act like what we have to offer is no big deal. But it is. Your gift is not only about you. It was never just about making you feel special or different. Your gift was given to you to serve others, to uplift, to heal, to inspire, to challenge, to awaken something in the people around you. That makes it sacred. That makes it weighty. When you ignore your gift, you're not just avoiding your potential. You're neglecting a calling. The world is full of people who are hungry for what you've been carrying all this time. People walking in darkness who need the light that only you can shine. And yet, so many stay stuck, hiding behind fear or comparison. We look at others and say, they're better than me. Or, they already did it. What's the point of me doing it too? But nobody can do what you do the way you do it. Your voice hits different. Your story hits different. Your perspective, your background, your experiences, they've shaped you to carry your gift in a way nobody else can replicate. It's easy to think that because you didn't go to school for it, or because you don't have the recognition or the following or the title, your gift doesn't count. But purpose doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't need validation. It just needs obedience. You don't need a stage to start. You don't need applause to be effective. You just need to honor what was placed in your hands. Whether it's the way you write, the way you listen, the way you build, the way you teach, the way you lead. Whatever it is, if it's in you for a reason. It's not enough to just recognize you have a gift. Recognition without responsibility leads to regret. That's why so many people, even the ones with the most potential, live frustrated. Not because they aren't good enough, but because deep down they know they're not using what they've been given. They know they're capable of more. And the truth is, you don't have to be perfect to start. You just have to be willing to show up, willing to grow, willing to offer what you have with open hands. Because your gift is not for you to keep. It's for you to give. And when you give it, when you truly release what's inside you, that's when it multiplies. That's when it moves people. That's when it begins to fulfill the very reason it was given to you in the first place. So no more hiding, no more waiting, no more pretending you don't have something special. You do. And it's time you started using it with courage and with full fear whispers in your ear, not with truth, but with limitation. It doesn't come to inform you. It comes to stop you. And doubt doesn't ask questions to get answers. Doubt asks questions to paralyze you. Fear says you're not ready, even though readiness comes through action. Doubt says you're not enough, even though you've already been given everything you need to start. These voices are not your friends. They are not wisdom. They are not discernment. They are distractions dressed up as protection. And too many people have built their lives around what fear told them, instead of what faith tried to show them. You can be talented, prepared, and passionate, but if fear is running your decisions, you'll never move forward. You'll stay rehearsing your greatness in the dark, afraid to step into the light. But fear is a liar, and doubt is a thief. They steal your confidence, your creativity, your boldness, and eventually your time. They rob you of what could be by convincing you it's safer to stay where you are. The lie that fear tells is that failure will destroy you. The lie that doubt tells is that if you're not perfect, you're worthless. But the truth is, failure refines you, and imperfection is what makes you human. Some of the most powerful people in the world are not the ones who had no fear. They're the ones who did it anyway. The ones who moved while shaking, who spoke while uncertain, who acted while unsure. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move in spite of it. And the longer you wait for fear to go away, the more power you give it. It grows every time you hesitate. It multiplies every time you believe it. And before long, it doesn't just affect one part of your life. It infects all of it. You start shrinking in places where you used to stand tall. You start apologizing for being who you are. You stop dreaming because dreaming feels dangerous now. That's the prison fear builds for you, and it's built brick by brick with your permission. Doubt operates the same way. It doesn't shout. It lingers. It seeps into your thoughts slowly, asking questions like, who do you think you are? What if they laugh at you? What if you fail publicly? And if you let it, it will grow until you don't even recognize yourself. You'll look around and wonder where your passion went, where your voice went, where your fire went. It didn't disappear. It got drowned in fear and doubt. The way out is not to wait until you feel fearless. The way out is to act in defiance of fear, to speak even when your voice trembles, to walk forward even when your knees feel weak. Every time you do, you shrink the power of fear. You rob doubt of its influence. You reclaim your voice, and you begin to live from truth, not from lies. Because the truth is you are more capable than you think, more prepared than you believe, and more powerful than fear wants you to realize. We live in a world that constantly tells us to wait. Wait for the right timing, the right opportunity, the right approval, the right amount of confidence before we begin. We convince ourselves that once things are perfect, then we'll move. Once we have more clarity, then we'll speak. Once we feel completely ready, then we'll show up fully. But that idea of the perfect time is a myth. It doesn't exist. It's an illusion that keeps you stuck. The truth is, there is no perfect moment, only now. Now is all you ever really have. Now is the only place where anything real can happen. The future is just a concept until you step into it with action. What you're waiting for is not more time, it's more truth. And the truth is you already know what you need to do. You already feel the pull. You already hear the voice. What you lack is not awareness, but the courage to move with what you already know. We hide behind preparation because it feels productive. We tell ourselves that we're still getting ready, that we're just learning a little more, organizing a little more, refining a little more. But at some point, preparation turns into procrastination, and procrastination turns into paralysis. We think we're being wise when really we're being afraid. We think we're being patient when really we're postponing our growth. And the cost is not just lost time, it's lost alignment with who you're supposed to be right now. Every day you delay, you distance yourself from the impact you could be making. Every excuse is a wall between your potential and your purpose. There's a difference between being strategic and being scared. Most of the time, what we call strategy is really just fear in a business suit. The moment you choose to act, everything changes. You won't feel fully confident. You won't have all the answers. But you will have momentum. And momentum matters more than mastery. Action breeds clarity. You learn more by doing than by thinking. You discover who you are not by theory, but by practice. The voice you've been waiting to find only reveals itself once you start using it. The strength you've been hoping to build only shows up once you start lifting the weight. The wisdom you've been searching for only grows as you walk the path. If you wait for everything to be right, you'll wait forever, because growth requires movement, and movement requires faith. You don't need to know how it will all unfold. You just need to take the first step. You don't have to impress anyone. You just have to show up real. You don't have to have the full picture. You just need to trust that the picture will form as you walk. This moment right here is the only doorway to the next. The key is in your hand, and all the waiting in the world won't unlock what only action can reveal. Your future isn't waiting for your perfection. It's waiting for your decision to begin where you are with what you have and with who you already. There is something undeniable about the truth that you were chosen for the path you're on, that you've been equipped not by accident but by divine intent. Too often people believe they have to earn the right to step into their calling, as if purpose only belongs to the flawless or the famous. But being chosen doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you've been trusted. Trusted with the life you've been given, the experiences you've lived through, the insights you've gathered, and the message you carry. Being chosen means there is something specific about you that is necessary for this moment in history. You were not born to blend in or simply exist. You were made to create change in the space you occupy, to impact others through the strength of your presence and the clarity of your purpose. Many struggle with the feeling that they aren't ready, that they haven't done enough yet to deserve the platform, the opportunity, or the influence. But readiness is often a lie that keeps people from doing what they were born to do. The truth is, you grow into your calling by walking in it, not by standing on the sidelines hoping one day you'll feel worthy. Confidence doesn't come before obedience. It follows it. Every step you take confirms that you are capable. Every risk you embrace shows you more of the power you carry. You won't know how strong you are until the moment demands it. But the strength is already inside you, waiting to be activated through action. You don't need more time. You need more belief. You were chosen to do something that only you can do the way you do it. That doesn't mean you're the only one with talent. It means you're the only one with your combination of perspective, history, voice, and heart. Your journey, even the parts that broke you, has been shaping you for this. The pain, the setbacks, the disappointments, they didn't disqualify you. They equipped you. They deepened your empathy. They sharpened your discernment. They built your endurance. You didn't survive all that just to play small now. Being chosen is not about status. It's about responsibility. It's about being willing to stand where others sit, to speak when silence feels safer, to lead even when you feel unqualified. You may never feel completely ready. You may always carry a little fear in your chest when you move forward. That's okay. That's human. But don't let fear make the decisions. Let purpose lead. Let truth guide you. You were chosen not because you're perfect, but because you're willing. And when you combine willingness with faith, there is no limit to what can unfold. The power isn't in knowing everything, it's in trusting the one who gave you the assignment. If it's in you, it's for you. And if it's for you, then no obstacle, no voice of doubt, no closed door can keep you from walking in it fully when you decide to stop hesitating and step into who you were always meant to. Inside every person is a light, a voice, a fire that was never meant to stay hidden. We are born with something to give, something to build, something to leave behind. But too often that gift stays buried because we underestimate its worth or overestimate the risk of showing it. The world doesn't need perfect people. It needs real people. People who are willing to stand up and speak even when their voice shakes. People who are willing to act even when the outcome is uncertain. There are lives waiting to be touched by the very thing you keep tucked away out of fear, shame, or insecurity. You may not feel like a leader. You may not think you're qualified. But there is someone right now who is stuck, confused, or hopeless, and they need to see you step out so they can believe it's possible to step out too. The impact of your life is not determined by how loud you are, but by how willing you are to show up. You don't have to be the best at what you do. You just have to do it from a place of truth. When you speak from experience, when you share your story, when you offer what you've learned, it resonates deeper than anything polished or scripted. The world is full of noise but starving for authenticity. What people need is not another imitation of success, but an example of someone courageous enough to be themselves. Your truth, your lessons, your perspective, they might seem ordinary to you because you've lived with them every day. But to someone else, they're the very thing that can bring clarity, direction, or healing, it's easy to believe that what's inside of you can wait, that you'll share it later when the timing is better or when you feel more confident. But every day you delay is a day the world goes without what you were meant to contribute. There are books unwritten, songs unsung, businesses unstarted, ideas unspoken. Not because they weren't good enough, but because the person carrying them waited too long. We think we have time, but time is never promised. Legacy is not built in the future. It's built in the decisions you make today. Every time you step into your truth, you leave something behind for others to stand on. Every time you share what's in you, you multiply its power. You plant seeds in places you may never see, but the fruit will grow in someone else's life. When you choose to remain unseen, you're not just hiding from yourself. You're hiding from the people who are assigned to you, people who won't be reached unless you step into your purpose. You are the permission they've been waiting for. You are the example they need. Not a perfect version of you, but the real you, the honest you, the growing you, the one who decided to stop hiding and start living out loud because you finally understood that what's inside you was never meant to stay locked away, but to be given fully and freely so it can do the work it was always meant to.